What up, y'all? Want to talk to you about something real quick. I've got quite a fucking bit to talk about, quite a bit to say. I'm not planning much of this or any of this. I just hit record. So bear with me, man. I want to try to roll through this stuff and see what we can uncover. I've been feeling this growth because I'm working on this book, and it's so, like, I don't know, it's very mind-opening, right? I'm exploring something deep within myself. I'm trying to find who I am. It's gonna get kind of weird a little bit, okay? So because I'm doing that, I've been noticing something that I lack. So when I'm trying to make this hero who's supposed to go off to this next dimension, he's supposed to raise himself up to a certain height and become this sort of swami, or he's supposed to be this guru or this priest or something, I don't know, this magician, a higher being. He's going to be a conduit through in which his creator uses him for a return, okay? The creator's return to this world. Gee, I wonder where that kind of falls from. But it felt natural, and I didn't see the similarities when I was doing this. But when the more I would explore this shit, the more I'm like, okay, well, here's what it's lacking, and blah, blah, blah. It's become abundantly clear that I'm lacking this one thing. Oh, man, I don't really know how to put into words. This community. This place to which I can go with the groups of people. Now, I've been having this really weird, remember how I told you my conversations or my, the way I communicate with God doesn't feel like he talks to me, like, and then, you know, like, obey the tenets that David laid out or whatever, I don't remember. It's not like that. Well, it's like this. So, at work, the past 3 days in a row, and then subsequently the past 2 weekends before that, this, what are they called in Catholicism? The priest, you know, the black on, the white little, and his neck there, has been coming in, and I've never seen it before. And I just knew, I didn't even need to sit and like, well, I wonder what, you know, this could be. I just knew, I'm like, well, that's something reaching out to me. So I've been looking at Catholic stuff. I've been reabsorbing that again. Remember how I told you I'm leery of it? Well, I still feel leery, but I'm fucking reaching my hand out towards it. And it turns out the leeriness that I feel is because of what it's become out here. It's the lack of this. I was listening to people talk about Catholicism, how it lacks the idea of these temples. They just feel like these lifeless buildings, these stone buildings you go in and there's just a cross in the back and that's it. And what that opens up is the creative element, and it opens up the truth of the Bible and all that. And it's this whole ass thing, right? I can't go into it too much. Just listen to any other cat, like, what is that, Bishop Barron guy. Just listen to that for a while. It occurred to me this, and I said that, yes, that fucking right there, I would sign right up if we fix this shit. I want to go into a fucking temple. I want to go in there. I want to see all these images that have this great deal of meaning. I want to feel encompassed in it through the art, so that it opens up that section of my mind. I want to hear the stories in the Bible told to me as fucking stories, as these images in that sense. And I'm like, man, I would be a Catholic in a second if that was what it was like, according to what the Catholics kind of strayed from. Now, I don't know if they strayed from it or not. I'm taking it as what a Catholic's saying. I'm just going to believe him. He's involved in it. So I'm like, I need this in my life. This sort of temple to go to. But there's that leeriness of Jesus and all that. I don't get it. And so I reached out to a Catholic church, and I wanted to speak to a priest and just like, hey, I want to talk, man. I got a lot I don't know what to do with, and just listen to me. But here's what's interesting. That priest finally walked by me, and I greeted him. I said, hello, how are you? Are you doing okay today, or something? I don't remember exactly how I said it. And it was hard to tell because when you're busy and people are moving around. But he greeted me back and he said something along the lines of, hope it's a good day for you as well. But I swore he had an accent. And I swear, it might have been an Irish accent. Now it's just an outsider, they're like, yeah, no big whoop, an Irish Catholic, wow, shocking, you know. I get it, you know, but like this search of my roots through the Irish roots that kind of all of a sudden intermingled, and I was like, man, if I see him again, I don't want to be rude, but I just will be like, hey, I don't mean to be rude, I hope I don't come across that way, I'm just curious, where are you from? And if he says he's from there, I might just be like, oh my God, shake his hand. Just like, holy shit. Like, that's crazy to me. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. It's just, he's from home, I guess, is what it feels like. Oh my gosh. It's like, you come from the place. And there's like a little brotherhood thingy there that probably only I would feel. So, there's that, right? And I know, I don't know how to feel about it, but that's the kind of fucking thing I gotta explore. The second part of it is I'm like, there's that base level, kind of like in my book, it's like the chantry. It's not like base level, but it's like, it's generally the people that are getting involved in the church aren't the ones that are seeking this deep, fucking rich knowledge that hides inside of self and how to use that to do this and that, you know, from charity to fucking helping yourself and others and all that, and opening your mind up to the knowledge that's hidden within, and working with your spirit guide, your guardian angel, or whatever the being is that you can access through. So I've been looking at hermetics. That's kind of, I've been focused, I'm honing on that one. And masonry. I was like, man, wouldn't it be sweet to be a fucking Catholic Mason? You know? Because at the end of the day, it's like that base level of this Catholicism. It's, again, I don't mean to say it's a base thing, but rooted in Catholicism, from that, finding self through those stories and those concepts and those ideas and Christ and God and all that, and then boom, we're up here, and this is like this hermetics and this masonry. So what I did was, I thought, okay, how do you become a Mason? And if indeed, is that what I should do, right? Because it's like, I don't know, should I be doing this or not? Then it hit me. My grandfather. Part of the, I have this stuff right here. The Knights of Pythias. I don't necessarily know what they're about, but I reached out to them. And I want to talk to them about this stuff, because in the story, in my book, this is the only reason I did it, so this might be stupid or might not, I don't know. So I'll leave it to you to decide. In the book, Eris stumbles upon, in one way, shape, or another, a sword. Now this sword will have kind of an Arthurian, in a sense, an importance to it throughout the going forward part. You know, I'm not going to ruin it and tell you why it's important, but just suffice to say that this sword is mightily important, and it was given to him for a reason, and he's meant to do something with it. What that's built around in my life is when my grandfather was part of this order, my great-grandfather, was part of this order. The only thing I was ever told, like, he was given a sword. And I think my great aunt has the sword right now, and then my mom will get it. And they basically, they tend to and take care of it. It's kind of cool like that. They understand the importance of it, and I don't fucking get it. But one day it'll come to me to be the tender of this sword. It's when my mother passes away. That was a promise. I don't know exactly how it went, but he made a promise to my grandmother, made her promise. When he dies, she has to take care of this, and then before she dies, she passes it down for her, you know, down the line. One day I'll have this sword myself. And I only see, like, I've never seen it. But as it was described, it's a very beautiful, ornate sword. Just, it's amazing. With the scabbard, or whatever it's called, the thing the sword goes in. It's very intricate, it's very ceremonial. And it's going to come to me one day. that part alone made me think I have to explore this Knights of Pythias thing and see what they're about. I know they always advertise charity, 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 charity. And I'm becoming more aware of what ritual does and why we do these rituals. And in Catholicism, there's the ritual. We're invoking something of self and something of another. It's not awakening necessarily some evil entity that hides astray. It can happen. There are rituals for that, apparently. And I don't want to mess with that. But I want to awaken through ritual this inner subconscious. So you got to think of it like kind of Jungian, the way he thought about the great subconscious and shit. Well, that's not very far from Hermetics and shit. Just as I'm gathering so far. I may be wrong about that. It just, to me, it sounds similar. So, in the way that he described it, and then these Hermetics were talking about it in a sense of this being through your subconscious. That you use this being to help you, and you got to trust in it, and it will guide you to the path that you're meant to have, whatever you're trying to accomplish. And I'm like, well, that's what I need to do. And I realized I was already kind of doing it all along. That's what the Forgotten King is. He's kind of my weird guardian angel, we could use to maybe make sense to somebody. That's what he is. He's this being from another that through me, he's giving me a lot of stuff and I to him. It's really weird like that, this relationship. Because I didn't plan any of that to happen. That's just kind of what did happen. And through him, Eris is a part of my psyche, and me and him together, weirdly, are trying to fix this young kid and a lot of his problems. That might sound daft to somebody, and fine, whatever, you know. I mean, I'm no stranger to being called an idiot or a weirdo. I'm fine with that. But that's how I've been understanding it, and I'm just like, so what I'm really missing are these two elements. This church, this temple, to which I can pray and find that place to gather closely to a community that I myself want to end up helping too. You know, if I feel like they can do more, I feel like it could be better. I want to voice myself and say, let's be the best fucking people we can be. Instead of dicking around with ritual, you know, like let's look at this shit and go to the past and let's redo it or whatever happens to be. I don't know. I want to be a part of that. And then not only that, but this Knights of Pythian, you know, the Knights of Pythias order, it's about brotherly, because that's, in a sense, it was created in the 1800s after Lincoln. It was in the 1860s. And it's modeled after the story of Pythias and somebody. It's a Greek story about how he was going to be hanged unless he proved his innocence, or I don't know, something along those lines. And the guy went to save his life. And when he came back, the guy never, you know, he wasn't killed because he proved his innocence. Some description, I don't really know. And that's the formation of this group is about brotherly love and helping your fellow man and shit like that. I'm like, well, fuck. Surely there's more to it, I imagine. I don't necessarily know. But why not get involved in that? Clearly it's an order that's fallen into decay. Clearly, because I mean, I never heard of them. And from what I hear, the Masons are falling into decay. So, something to explore. A little short video where I just wanted to tell you kind of what I'm doing. What I want to do. Because I'm sitting here quietly in this room working on my book, which is working on myself. And I'm doing it all by myself. I'm not part of anything here, you know. I have two guys help me with the book, but not often. Every once in a while they might mention something for the book, and 95% of the time it doesn't really serve me in any way. It's just kind of like, that's interesting. You know, I feel like we've fallen away from the original purpose of this. So I kind of lack this purpose greater than myself. And so that's kind of why I wanted to reach out to these organizations and see if this is what it's right for me, if this is what I'm missing. Is this what I'm missing, you know? That's all I ever think about. Yeah. hopefully that made sense to somebody out there. I don't bloody know sometimes when I think about it. But we'll figure this out. One way, shape, or another. One way, form, or another. I don't know. However you say that. Okay. I will see you guys on the other side. Whoever that is, I don't fucking know.